Hi, Alys from Alys Stitchy Fingers here. As promised, I'm going to do you a tutorial on using the multi-ruler one to do this swirl design. Now it's very simple and I would recommend it for beginners. Sorry about Molly's clip-clopping of the feet, but she's come to join us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a square first, and I'm going to show you how to do this, but I'm going to show you how to do it the opposite way, so that if you put them up together you will get a different result. So first of all, I'm going to use the multi-ruler one with this straight edge to do the square. Doesn't matter what size square you do.
I think Molly's just passed wind. Was that you, Molly? Molly,
the dog.
that's bad.
You stink. Right, sorry about that, minor distraction. So what I'm doing now is I've got my ruler foot on, I've got my feed dogs dropped, and I've got my needle in the down position. So if you can do that, it's preferable to do it. And I'm just putting the ruler up against the ruler foot. I'm going to hold my hand on the ruler and hold the fabric. I'm determining the stitch length by how fast I move the fabric. So I'm going to start stitching. Just put my machine back to the normal setting. And I'm moving the fabric along the ruler and the foot. I'm going to do it about that big. I twist the fabric. Now there is different opinions on whether you can move your fabric or not. I think if it makes it easier, move it. So I'm just going to make it roughly the same size. Turn it around, put the ruler up against it again. Now you can see that I'm leaving a 1/4 inch gap, and I'm just guessing that. I can see when I get closer if I need to move it any closer, because the ruler will, the needle will be a 1/4 inch from the edge of the needle. So now I did that one in a clockwise fashion. So if I do this one anti-clockwise, which means I need to put my fabric there, put the ruler up against it this edge, put the first mark against the stitch line there. So put the ruler up against the foot there and against the stitch line at this end, stitch to this row of stitches. Stop when you hit the stitches and rotate your work. Replace your ruler against the ruler foot, putting the ruler down on the first line so that the stitches are there, the ruler goes against that first line, and I'm going to stitch to this row of stitches again. So you're not actually doing any curves, even though it looks like you are. Stop on the stitches, rotate your work, place your ruler back against the foot, placing it on the stitched line, and then stitch to the next row of stitches and stop with the needle down. Continue doing this all the way around. So we've done one full round now, and this time we're stopping on this row of stitches, so it's the nearest one to your needle that you're stopping on, and this time we're placing it against that row of stitches. So again, it's the nearest one into the centre of the square. Stop on the stitched line again and rotate, and you keep going round. So I'm doing it anti-clockwise, and you will see as we get closer in you will get a curve this way. If you do it clockwise you will get a curve that way. So I'll just do a few at speed now. Stopping on the line, rotate. And you'll notice that it will match up with the other pattern to form a pattern within the two blocks. Now you can do the width of the stitches as wide as you like. If I did the ruler against the stitch line, it would be a 1/4 inch. I'm doing a 1/2 inch gap, but you can do it up to 1 inch. closer you get into the centre, the quicker the project becomes. It's getting smaller and smaller. The wadding I've got is the thin wadding that I sell in the shop. And if anybody lives local enough to come to the shop, I recommend coming on a Tuesday where you can try out the rulers in your class. Have a go before you buy to see if you like them. I must say the women who are coming are getting really good at the ruler work. You can drop it any time from 12 till 7 o'clock in the evening, and it's just £3 an hour. Bring any projects with you that you like. Getting smaller and smaller. I have got the Supreme slider on, which does make it easier for moving your work. So each time just rotate once, ruler up against the foot, stitched line onto the first line and rotate. And you keep going until you can go no more, so basically until you've got nowhere else that you can go. I do apologise for my dog.
Is that you?
She's been upstairs all day today. Decided to come down for filming. So now you can see it's getting really small. This is what I have to put up with everywhere I go. She even comes to work with us. So you'll find that you will end up with only 3 sides when you get so small. I've still got 4 at the moment. I'm putting it against the ruler. That first line is going against the stitch line. Stop on the sewn line and rotate. So now we're coming down to 3. So I'm still putting it against the ruler and against the row of stitches. I'm stopping on the stitched line, rotate, and we'll only get 1 more done. And just get that in. Do a couple of stitches back and forth. Take your work out. So now you'll see what we've got is we've got like a 2-pronged pattern, and if I did the other 2 reversing those, one clockwise and one anti-clockwise, you'd end up with a big square with a beautiful pattern on.